Your favorite Compas of another jam-packed episode of the Four Compas Show. In this episode, we will get into why the NFL fumbled by having the Dallas Cowboys open the season against the Philadelphia Eagles, the reigning, defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. We will also give you our best matchups of the primetime season. We'll also get into some of the games that have been announced already. I know they announced all the international games, not the one that Fernando needed to be said. It hasn't been said yet, but I guess we'll get it tomorrow. Plus, we might get into, and then we'll get into Combat Compas by recapping WWE Backlash. Also, time permitting, we'll have Burial of the Week and Una Mas. Gilberto, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Question as well?
I do, but first I'll say I'm really annoyed because it's scheduled release day. I don't know if you heard, Fernando, where we get one game on Monday and another game on Tuesday and two games on Wednesday morning and then 200 and something games at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. Who gives a crap? Give me that freaking schedule already and put it on my fridge and call it a day. But it's a big event, and check out a story that I wrote about at si.com, by the way, plug. About the schedule release, so maybe I should like it. But yeah, I do have an engagement question of the week. I know how you guys feel about this. I could tell by the headlines, and I could tell by producer Victor. Do you think the first game one of 272 games in 2025, game one, should it be Eagles defending reigning Super Bowl champions at home at Lincoln Financial Field against the Dallas Cowboys with George Pickens? Is that the right game for week one, game one, whatever you want to call it? Let me know. Is it an NFL schedule fail? I'm going to say I don't think so. Actually, I'm looking forward to it. Rivalry game off the bat. It's game one, defending champions, George Pickens. Maybe Pickens throws a fit on the sidelines. I don't know. I just want to see a game that doesn't involve preseason or schedule.
Will he even play?
Or, yeah, what do you make?
Micah Parsons, will he even play?
Oh, yeah. Will he get paid? See, there's some storylines there.
Oh, no, I have a funny angle for you when we come back and get the fellows in here. But I actually, it was just because of the teams that are playing, like the other teams that Philadelphia are playing at home. But at the same time, it's actually ironic. And we'll get into that after the intro.
Compas on the beat. Let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah. So we're Compas.
Yeah, we are.
There you go. Hey.
There you go. Okay, all right. We got proof right there.
Some guy that seems like he's asleep. Need you to wake up, Gilbert. There's a lot of energy.
Come on, Gilbert. Let's go.
Come on. Dan and Dago is at Moe's.
I'll show you. I'll show you. I got it right.
Okay, that's it. You guys, I am done with mine, but that's couldn't get better than a 2026 6th-round pick swap for a 7th-rounder. So
freaking love you, Chad.
Hey, dude. Cool, man.
Compas on the beat, man. Derwin James signing off, man. Watch Compas on the beat, man.
Welcome to Compas on the Beat. I'm Fernando Ramirez. I cover the Chargers for the Sporting Tribune. With me, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, Gilbert Manzano, covers the NFL for Sports Illustrated. What's up, bro?
What's up, sir? Yes. Schedule, release day, whatever. But
You're
I want to know about you.
On that.
I want to know about you, though, Fernando. I wake up early nowadays. You know, as a new father, you're not used to me being a morning person, but I am now. 5 a.m., 6 a.m. But you woke up early too, which you usually do. But to get no news about the Chargers playing in Brazil, you must have been annoyed about that.
It's funny that in not our this group chat and the other group chat, sometimes you like stuff at like 6 a.m. I'm like, wow, Gilbert's because I mean everybody else in that other group chat is two of the other people are on the East Coast, so it's just funny to see how
I'm
all of our
my board from like 5 to 8:30, and then I go back into the writing cave. But yeah, I'm up for 3 or 4 hours watching them.
Yeah, exactly. No, well, I mean, I got up a little bit earlier today, just because I was like, oh, okay, well, here we go. They're gonna announce Chiefs and Chargers. They end up not announcing it, and I'm kind of like, well, what the hell? And they're like, oh, we're gonna announce it tomorrow, and I'm kind of like, dude, just get it over, because I already have a story ready for it. Like, so
yeah, because Spain told you already the opponent, right?
Well, yeah. So like, I had written a story about how like, basically how this is an interesting start to the year 2 of Harbaugh. You're starting off against the Kansas City Chiefs, who have won this division for 9 years. this could be a very telling game of how the rest of the season's going to go. And I know it's only game 1, but it's going to be a good measuring stick for these guys in what's going to be a very tough schedule. They have a, like, the good thing is the brutal part of their schedule is all at home. You have the Eagles, the Commanders. You have a lot of hard teams, but they're all at home. But regardless, they're gonna have to come out swinging. Yeah, Uber Goober Jock is right. It is free on YouTube, which he just announced today. The first game ever to be free on YouTube. God, if that thing
remind Tom that the last series Super Bowl champion played in Brazil.
Yeah, exactly, Tom. I mean, I a lot of people aren't happy about the Brazil thing just because it is the Angel. How are you doing? A lot of people are not happy that it's in Brazil because it's the Chiefs, and they're like, "Why would you do that?" But I think Dr. Florio tweeted out that the Chargers saved 2 other games instead of the Chiefs, Raiders, or Broncos games. So they obviously they didn't care about those 2 being international. They've done it before. Gilbert and I were there at the last international game when Felipe Rios threw 4 picks, and the Chargers could have won that game, and he threw 4 picks.
He threw a pick in the final possession.
Oh, to Daniel Sorensen, like the slowest white ever. And that was just
so this is technically a Chargers home game in Brazil.
This is a Chargers home game.
I feel bad for the season ticket holders. They lose.
By the way, this is just the beginning. Roger Goodell says he wants 16 weeks of international games. They're experimenting with the Vikings. The Vikings will be playing in Dublin. Are you from Ireland? Because my penis is. They're starting off in. They're going to Dublin, and then they're staying, and they're going to London after that. So they're staying the whole week out there. So it's just the beginning. We're going to get more of this. Remember, Dean was on with Steve Weish the other day, and he said that they want to go back to Greece. So that makes me think that in either next year or the year after, the Chargers are going to go to Greece and go play out there. I know that they're talking about Australia. I know that they have a bunch of stadiums down in Australia. That's going to be – I think the Rams are probably going there pretty soon, if I'm not mistaken. So all we're missing next year – yeah, so Asia, I'm sure. They're going to Hawaii for minicamp. So the NFL is just getting started. Like I think Dan was saying it yesterday to me and somebody else. They're going to Saudi soon, and I believe it too. They're probably going to go to Saudi pretty soon. So it's different.
By the way, Canelo Crawford first press conference. You know where? Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, exactly. So that's all they care about. But I'm definitely interested to see how all of this. Tom says that there's a lot of Charger fans in Australia. I think there's a lot of Charger fans in Brazil too, because there's always an account that has a bunch of followers that's Chargers related, and they always quote tweet my tweets and they translate it into Portuguese. So they're a Brazilian account. So. Yeah, I'm interested to see. I think there's going to be a heavy set of Charger fans. I actually the San Diego FC, some Charger fans pulled me off to the side and they told me they're going to Brazil. Husband and wife, they're going to be going to Brazil to the game. They're really interested. They've never been, so they want to go. That they're going to take a bunch of precautions and everything, but they're really excited about going. So it sounds like a bunch of Charger fans are really are going to go down to.
I remember last year it wasn't safe.
A lot of Charger fans are going down there. What?
Wasn't that the thing last year? It wasn't safe to get over there. Even the players are worried about leaving their hotel. So I don't know.
Well, you can't say that, but yeah. But you can't even use Twitter down there.
Yeah, people always say it's not safe in Mexico, but it's always
there was a well, they're not going to Mexico this year because they're fixing for the World Cup for next year. In Brazil last year, they can't use Twitter. So there was a guy that would send his wife. He would text his wife what to tweet out for him. And he would tweet out all the stuff. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Yeah, you can't wear green. That one I do know, unless it's like our Brazil jersey.
Remember last year they got the Packers and the Eagles and 2 green
exactly,
teams.
And none of them wore it. Yeah, so
now we got red and powder blue.
That's why they chose the Chargers and the Chiefs are like 2 of the complete opposite colors. So
in the United States, no blue, no red, but over there.
Well, and then I think you have to, for media, they were asking media. Well, never mind. I'm not going to get into all that stuff, but they're asking you to do some stuff before you go down there. So you have to get an owie before you go down there. So a couple, it's like 1 or 2, I think. But I don't know. I'm interested to see how much media is going to go down there because I don't know. I know that the media. I mean, they took care of us in Mexico. I remember that. So when we went to Mexico, so
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know, but it didn't sound like it was the best experience last year. But
Compas in Brazil, no.
But they went back, so it can't be that bad. As long as they fix that field, how about that? And
well, that's going to be the problem. Remember, Jordan Love got hurt at the end of that game. Yeah, so
he missed a couple games, and he actually had a crappy year. Now I think about it, maybe that could have been the reason why.
I just think it was just I think it caught up with him. Yeah. Remember, that sophomore slump is pretty aggressive. Wow, some guy actually has. Well, I think this is fake. They're saying Bengals at Bills Sunday Night Football to start the year. So that's
I would really like to see that. A lot of points there. High scoring.
I had something. Oh, I must have not saved it. Somebody. Oh yeah. So yesterday, somebody. Oh damn! Somebody goes. Mahomes threw up prayers for Jason Tatum. Vic, can you take this off real quick? Yeah, right. Dan's not gonna go down to Brazil. Mahomes put prayers up, and this guy goes, "You're next." And I can confirm that was not Dan's burner account. Dan did not tell Mahomes he was next. But I thought that was pretty interesting. But all right,
Dan won't go to Brazil. He can't. He's not even happy about going to LA. Like, he doesn't even like going down to Crenshaw. Come on.
Dan does not like going. Oh yeah, no, he wasn't too happy about that trip. But well, actually, no, he was, because Puka Nacua was very nice to him. He was nice to him, and then what's his name? Dayon was great with him. So he Denzel. Everybody was really nice to Dan. So he was excited about that. But all right, let us get these guys in here and let's talk about the NFL schedule. So yeah, let us get this going. Vic, how are you doing?
Yeah, good to be here. Yeah, I know Gilbert isn't too excited about this schedule release. So,
well,
anybody excited? It's like fatigue at this
point. If we can ever find something that these two gentlemen unite in, it is the schedule release. Let's get Gilbert's tag team partner in here.
How we doing? How's everybody doing over here?
Dan, are you excited about the schedule release?
No, it's the dumbest thing ever every single year. This is why I hate the NFL offseason. I had hold on, let me see. A coaching buddy sent me some article about
Dan, somebody look at this. Somebody wants us to send you.
No offense. I try to avoid third world countries at all costs.
Allegedly.
Is Brazil considered one of those?
I would go down there. You know why?
One of the biggest countries in the world.
I have a little what's it called? Little file cabinet with some plans. Operation Real Madrid. Let me go find a little Brazilian lady to
go
see.
To If the Chargers played in Spain, would you go?
Oh, he would have been
Spain?
If they did or were.
What kind of question is that? Yeah, no shit, I'd go to Spain.
Oh, okay.
I'd try and catch a Madrid game at the same time if I could. Or is it this?
Or Barcelona, whatever you want.
No one cares about those of the year.
I have a question for you guys. So does this mean that the Chargers get 9 home games, but they lose this one, right?
Yeah, so they have 8 still.
They have 8. So they still would have 8.
I think they have 1 preseason home game and 2 away preseason home games.
That's right. Here it is.
3 away preseason home game, because they're the see, that's the thing. They're going to Canton for the Hall of Fame game. Yeah. Then they have to go to Brazil.
Yeah.
Then they have to go to the East Coast, I think 4 times. So
they have 38,000. Tom knows what I'm talking about.
You might get screwed here this year.
Yeah.
Don't you remember our best year with Lynn was this type of schedule where they travel the most?
You're right. Good point.
So I assume, it leaves no time for bullshit, so maybe they're more locked in. But what I was getting at, they went to London and they went a lot on the East Coast, but this is the type of stuff I hate in the off season. I guess they're, ESPN's getting all excited with rookie linebacker Abdul Carter sack celebration, the Porsche
Ghost
choke.
Raider.
Yeah.
Guy hasn't even played a snap of football. What are we even talking
I
about?
know.
Like,
Oh, this
just
is the best
t-shirts.
Yeah,
time.
you want all the
T-shirts in
jerseys
practice.
unretired too. You want all the Hall of Famers to give him this number too.
I'm glad. Well, I don't remember what drug of choice LT used to use, but I'm glad his ass didn't give up that number. I'll tell
It's
you that.
white.
Cocaine. Okay, I can
Oh my
remember.
God.
I figured it was the 80s.
Oh,
I
they meant
figured-
ladies. Oh, okay, never mind.
No,
Lawrence Taylor.
that's known.
You mean Lawrence Taylor? Dan, the other LT is your LT.
Yes, I know who. Yeah, Lawrence Taylor. He's also LT. He's the original. I'm talking about the Giants. This guy plays
No,
for
I
the
know.
Giants, right? Right?
Yes. His addiction was white.
Yeah. That, women, and beer and booze. I mean, I'm glad he didn't give it up. That guy's legendary. If he can do
Oh, yeah.
that stuff sober, if he can do that guy pissed, drunk, and cross-faded, and these
Yeah.
guys can't even do it sober. So
Rookies
he
need to
does.
stop asking. I'm gonna say that right now. Like, stop asking and go earn it.
I know. I would like Warren Moon shouldn't have given it up. I
Yeah.
hope no one else does. So
He played in Houston, not Tennessee. Come on, for starters.
I think
whoa.
I was gonna
It's
say
a great state.
I think Lawrence Taylor was the only player that Bill Belichick allowed to get away with stuff because I've heard some stories. Yeah. Because he was a defensive.
Dude, are you
coordinator.
kidding? Wasn't there a story where he had 12 women in a hotel room with booze and drugs and everything else?
Allegedly.
I
Maybe
don't know if
his
it's
new
alleged,
girlfriend
if
got
he confirms
introduced by LT, Bill and LT.
Yeah,
They
that's
knew.
crazy. That's crazy.
All
You
right,
know what's
let us-
funny? He probably saw Aaron Hernandez and he says, I know how to control him. I've already had LT. I know how to do it. It's got out of hand.
All right, let us go now to the opening game of the season, Eagles and Cowboys. I'll just give you my 2 cents quickly.
Yeah, I'll
Isn't
be
it
quick.
funny that the Cowboys have not won a Super Bowl since Dan was in diapers, and the what they like? This is a kick in the balls to Jerry Jones. Like them having to lift the trophy, they're gonna lift the banner, they're gonna be celebrating, they're gonna be doing all kinds of stuff, and it's gonna be at the expense of Jerry Jones. Like if the NFL was smart and NBC was smart, they should do a Jerry Jones cam and just put his face while all this is going on, while they bring out Brian Dawkins, Big Dick Nick Foles, like bring out all these legends to celebrate all this, and just watch Jerry Jones get pissed off about this. I think it's going to be glorious. I'm all for it. And
He'll be rehearsing his lines for his next movie or show. Like, he doesn't care.
Yeah, that's true.
No, he cares. He has to kind of like he makes money. He's the richest franchise in sports, but you're also a laughing stock because your fans say this is our year. Every year is their year, and then it ends up not being their year. And we all and the worst thing is that Jimmy Johnson was right, and that's what pisses Jerry Jones off the most. Is that he has since he started to want to take control, he has not won shit. So that's the thing that I think pisses out Jerry the most.
Dude, after seeing that promo he cut on Fox Sports that one time about the Cowboys, I was like, dude, hire this guy right now. What are we waiting for? He could probably still do it. But yeah, just real quick, I'll just say my thing about this. You know, this is going to be Brian Schottenheimer's welcome to the NFL moment, probably, because that's a damn good team. I mean, they always reload. Howie Roseman's been able to figure it out and have sustained success. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a massacre, dude. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, Dan, I agree with you. Maybe being a little lopsided. It's wild because I was looking at these off seasons for all 4 teams in the NFC East, and the Commanders and the Cowboys and the Giants all got better, and the Eagles lost a lot of talent. I still would rather have the Eagles roster any day over these teams. And they lost so much with Josh Sweat and Milton Williams. But I honestly, I get the whole we're tired of the Cowboys. They get ratings and they do well for TV. But if we're going to do it in week 1, when I really want to watch football and real football, I'm okay with it. And George Pickens being the new acquisition, I want to see that. But yeah, we're talking about like some Sunday night game or Monday night game where it's a bunch of NFC East NFC East teams, and it's already November and have fatigue. Yeah, I'm gonna complain all day. But week 1, I really don't care. But I get it. You could have gone. I was looking at the Eagles' schedule. They're playing the Bills. They're playing the Ravens. They're playing the Chiefs. So plenty of options there.
I'm just glad it's not Giants. Cowboys Giants usually open.
Oh yeah.
I hated
finally.
that. That was always a Sunday night game. Eli against Tony Romo.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
better not get Giants this year in any of those that first week.
Well, I'll take it if Jackson Dart is a starting quarterback. I would want to see Jackson Dart play. I don't want to see Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston, but go ahead, Vic.
No, I was gonna just go off this comment. Bobby here says I'm a Eagles fan and I'm pissed because we just lost an opportunity to play Dallas at home late in the season in cold weather. And
interesting.
I mean, as you talked about, Gilbert, you had plenty of opportunities here to kind of give the people what they wanted. And Fernando made a great point in terms of it makes sense for the Cowboys to be here, but I feel like you lost an opportunity here because you could have gotten the Rams here. You could have gotten the Lions, who I'm going to talk about later on, or you could even gotten the Commanders, who Fernando's going to talk about. So there was plenty of possibilities here. Even the Bills would have been a way better pick. Like there was way better options here to start the seasons for the Eagles, but I think you're right, Fernando. I think the fact that you get to throw this in Jerry's face kind of makes sense more than I actually thought about. And so, yeah, like the more I think about it now, the more it kind of makes sense. But as Bobby said there too, like you want to kind of save it. And we were talking about the international games, and we'll get into it. In terms of the Vikings, you said they kind of they're like the winners going before we get the whole schedule because they don't have to go to Chicago. They don't have to go to cold Pittsburgh. They're a dome team. So already you're seeing the Vikings be a winner in the whole schedule release because they don't have to go to the cold later in the season, to Bobby's point there in terms of the Cowboys having to go to Philadelphia late in the season.
I wonder who George Pickens will go at it with first, a cornerback from the Eagles or Micah Parsons. Like that Micah, like, and I mean, I don't mean to crap. Like the Micah Parsons thing is that now we're seeing how much money it's going to take to sign him, thanks to Myles Garrett. Which, by the way, that contract still looks to me like it's. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but I like why 40 million, but whatever. But that's what Micah's probably going to be asking for, and his agent David Mulugheta gets his clients paid. So,
well, didn't Jerry Jones not know who he is?
Oh, that was crazy. That's
called a power move.
That's gonna cost him an extra couple money, or a couple extra million. But I'm definitely interested to see where this all goes. Like Pickens right now is a good soldier, but let's see what happens when it's not going good in Philly and it's just the first game of the season. Then you turn around and Micah Parsons, what's Micah gonna be by that point? Obviously we heard what DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah had to say about each other back and forth on Twitter. So the Cowboys, we all know, is a very distracted team. Right now, I gave you guys my prediction last week or the week before. I can't. Joe Milton, but for me, is going to be starting at some point this season for them. I completely think that's going to happen. So
performance or injury on Dak?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like Dak is like he's over 30. So
yeah, he's going to get hurt.
His body's not going to get healthier. And he's had freak injuries where those stay with you for a while. So I just don't see how he's going to be able to rebound. And again, Jerry did it bad. He waited and waited and waited. He paid him. He panicked and he paid him. And now he owes Dak for a while. So it's not a good look. But I could totally see Joe Milton be the Dak Prescott that knocks off Tony Romo, in the same way that Dak came in and knocked Tony Romo off and
screw the hurt. I don't think he's going to play well. I mean, we'll see what happens when he has,
Dak?
I don't think he's that good. I don't think he was worth the money in the beginning.
No.
So he'll probably still be the same.
He's the highest paid right now? Or no, Josh Allen is.
No, I think it's him. No, I think he was last. I thought.
I think
Josh Allen just got a contract extension.
Yeah, but I think he took less.
He took a pay cut.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
smart.
More than he should have taken.
Big amount of money, but less on the years, I think.
Yeah, kind of like the Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
so they can go and get more players.
It is Dak Prescott at 60.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Jordan Love, and Trevor Lawrence are tied for 55.
What a joke! The top guys haven't even made an AFC championship. What are we talking about?
Why is Gilbert smiling like that?
There's a name in there.
Quarterbacks are so overrated. Who was the name in there?
I'm responding because I actually think the Cowboys are going to be good this year, and I'm waiting to actually tell you guys that. But I don't know. Man. I'm waiting for you guys to You guys
I-
just go off of the past. I'm thinking about the future.
I'm not. I think I said it last week. I think the Cowboys are making the playoffs. It's a weak NFC. I mean, I think they'll be one of the 4 new teams that make the playoffs.
I don't know if the NFC is weak, big, but I just can't figure out who's going to win the thing. Like I'm telling you, the Eagles lost a lot. Could it be them again? I hate doing repeat champions. Maybe that's my fault there.
Well, especially because supposedly they always change.
But
they
yeah, and
don't
that's
really
too.
win.
Yeah.
So like I feel like maybe
Thank you, Angel.
the AFC is just the same teams, like 3 or 4 teams, unless the Chargers make it. How about that, Dan? But with the NFC, I can't pick between 6 teams. I feel like.
My question is that if
You know,
I don't know.
I
Or the
think
Broncos. Nah.
no one
I
cares
think
about that.
Cowherd did his predictions, and he was talking about how tough it is to pick teams in the NFCs.
I
Like,
can't figure. I don't love one. That's what I'm saying.
Like
I can't
he
figure out
wanted
one
to,
I like.
he put the 49ers all the way at the bottom, but then
Ooh.
Matt Hasselbeck was like, I actually think the 49ers might make the playoffs.
That's another
And
team
so-
that
Yeah, so there's like a lot of shuffling with Juan. How you doing? Appreciate you jumping on. But everybody
Oh,
keeps on
Angel.
thinking the Chargers are going to play at Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day.
I think it's
Is
going to
that
be
in
the
LA?
Raiders. Because
No,
whenever
No, but
they
the Raiders just played them on Thanksgiving, no, like a couple of years ago.
okay, then they'll switch it. Yeah, because
Yeah, I think
I
it's
think
gonna
the
be-
last 2 times they put them on Thanksgiving. So
Yeah, that game was a blowout, though. I remember.
Wait, where's the
but,
Cowboys Chargers game?
It's at Dallas.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah,
But the schedule's not out yet, right? Like we don't
No,
know
it's out
what
tomorrow.
week
No,
is what.
No.
in
Okay.
24 hours, Dan, you're going to be
Yeah,
on the
just-
live,
yeah.
and you're going to see the release.
24
video.
hours and 7
Thanks.
minutes.
Yep.
Yeah,
No thanks.
and
Not gonna
then
do
Gilbert will jump on later and watch the video with you and see what
it.
he
Stupid.
thinks.
I hate this is why I hate the offseason. Like, who's gonna be better? Who's not gonna be better? Who gives a shit? Let's get to August and find out.
This
Like,
is where I
need-
get in
we need to
trouble
do-
when Fernando
we
tells
need
me to
to-
do win-loss on every schedule.
we
need to
just
do
don't
a-
know.
That's
We
fine.
need to do a ranking like just before the season starts of things Dan hates during the off season. Is it clips
Yeah.
of rookie mini camp or rookie camp? Is it the release schedule? Is it the NFL draft? Like we need you to rank them in
Honestly,
order.
the draft might be number one.
You missed
Draft
the
might
mock
be
draft,
number
huh?
one.
You missed the mock drafts.
Hey, Vic, can you take this off?
Stupid, man.
Dan, did you
Just
see
So
this today?
stupid.
Did you see who was ready to go?
Wow.
Danger
Here we
Russ.
go.
Oh,
Oh my!
Here we go.
I
Look at
literally
this.
just saw this.
Of
I literally
course,
just saw
Russ
this.
is in
Yeah.
game pants.
Yeah, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. Like, this is the same guy who said he was doing high knees and on the flight to London or whatever, and he was working on his recovery in Denver 23 hours of the day or whatever it was. Like, dude, just go away. This is a guy I can't wait to retire. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Him, LeBron, I can't wait for them
Is
to
he a Hall
go.
of Famer, Dan?
No, he's not. No, he's not. 100%.
Also, did you notice something about that picture?
No.
the
Jason
hat?
Dart is wearing the hat backwards. That
Yeah.
is always
Oh.
a no-no,
Oh.
according to Colin
Miller.
Cowherd.
off to a bad
Oh.
start.
Why does
Jeff
Cowboys say
Miller.
that?
Did you guys see the way Trey Hendrickson showed up for work today?
Oh, I saw this.
Angry, apparently.
Oh, is he talking shit?
He looks like an umpire.
Dude, I thought he was a coach or a teacher or a parent or something.
So this is what I wanted to get into real quick.
He's holding
before
out?
we get- So this is what
Holding?
he had. This is what he had
Or
to
yeah,
say.
hold in, yeah.
This is what
Trade
he
him
had
to
to
LA.
say after the. So he spoke 23 minutes to the media and spoke about everything that's going
Damn.
on.
Wow, that's a tough question too, because you try not to let the business become personal. I think over the last week or so, it's become personal, unfortunately.
Ooh.
You know, and when there's a lack of communication in any relationship, if it's business or a personal relationship, lack of communication leads to animosity, and that leaves my narrative only to me with no clear direction. So the lack of direction, the lack of communication,
Wow.
leading to things that are allowing me to think about
Good for him for
what's gonna
talking.
happen more than how great they have treated me over the last 4 years. Let me say, my son was born. I've said it to everyone.
So basically, what he said to the media was, and here's the quote. He was asked, they were unprovoked and they're provoked. They're unprovoked and they're provoked shark attacks. At this point, do you want to be a Cincinnati Bengal? That's a tough question.
Ooh.
And Hendrickson after said that he got a text a couple of days ago from the head coach Zach Taylor and said, "Hey, remember, if you don't show up to mandatory minicamp, you're going to be fined." That's all he texted him. And he said that he was very disappointed. And I think we're getting to the point where in a couple of weeks he's going to request a trade. I think he's
he
waiting
already has, I think.
Oh, has he really?
Yeah, he has.
It's been like
So
a
I
year.
think by June 1st,
Yeah.
that's when you're going to see it heat up a little bit because I'm
I'll
sure.
send him a 7th rounder.
Dude, this guy has like over 30 sacks the past 2 seasons. He can't even
know.
get a freaking breadcrumb by
My
the
way.
Bengals.
You know what's crazy? If I was the Patriots, that's the trade I would be making. They have like still like
the
$80
money,
million in cap space. Like I would totally make this move, but I know the Chargers still have about 45 to 50 in cap.
I like that. I like that.
But,
I like that idea.
I just don't know if they'd spend that kind of money. I mean, I think him and Khalil Mack on opposite sides would be crazy. There's some other teams that I'm sure Arizona would be willing to do some things. There's some other teams, but I definitely think that they need to get. I definitely think that they need. It's incredible. I don't know. I'll get all your guys' thoughts right now. But first, you have a guy in Shamar Stewart that's he didn't like the contract that he was offered. You just drafted him 17th overall. He doesn't like the contract that he was offered. He skips out on rookie minicamp. And then you have another guy that shows up in a hat, in a t-shirt, in a polo. And he's basically like, look, this team's kicked me in the nuts. They've taken care of everybody else but me. And he was right about one thing. He said, if I had only had 4 sacks last year, they'd be asking me to take a pay cut because they think I've fallen off. And that is very true. They would be asking him to take a pay cut.
If you pay wide receiver, they'll probably pay him too.
Exactly. So
Dude, overpaid for these guys. Yeah.
He's saying that he's disappointed and everything. I really think that they're going to end up trading him. There's no way they're going to be able to fix this relationship.
Who's going to play defense for them? Me and Dan? Huh? Who's going to play defense for that team?
I'll be D tackle apparently.
The rookie won't even want to play. Doesn't want to play for them either.
That's the crazy.
Yeah, I think the first 2 picks haven't signed.
The second pick also didn't.
He didn't show up for minicamp either.
Then I'll play edge rusher. Then I'll be ready.
There you go. That tells you everything you need to know about management there, dude. They're not handling that right, apparently, or something. Or they drafted the wrong guys.
Gilbert, what do you think?
Like, from the Bengals standpoint, I get it because he's an older edge rusher. Has some good years with the Saints. Got into his prime or late prime with the Bengals. So you don't want to overpay for guys who are older, but work something out. Maybe a short-term deal where it's a 2-year contract. Front loaded with a bunch of money. He's earned it. Last year they wouldn't pay the guy. You know what he does? Leads the league in sack. I think it was 17.5 sacks that I saw. I forget. I think last year he got 15 or 16. Only one behind TJ Watt. So he's productive. I get it. Maybe the numbers are skewed because he plays for a crappy defense. They play from behind, and they let him go rush the quarterback. But he's productive. The numbers show it. And he's older. I get it, but he's
30.
But he's not like one of these guys who's very athletic. He relies on skill and finesse. He knows how to be an older edge rusher. So make it a 2-year contract. But also they don't. How much money do they really have? They already paid Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase. So at that point, I would have just traded the guy, get more draft picks, and then reloaded that defense on the younger side, and tell Joe Burrow, "Hey man, you want your wide receivers paid, so we're going to draft route for the defensive players. Sorry, Trey Hendrickson, get out of here." But they just keep him kind of in the dark, and he doesn't even know what the hell what's going to happen there. So to me, the Bengals had a kind of a poor. Plan for this, and we know the track record. Like honestly, I kind of sided with the rookie Shamar Stewart because there's probably something on that contract that says that is weird and kind of a red flag. I'm going to wait it out here. So this team kind of has a reputation of doing weird things with the contract.
Vic,
yeah, and I mean, I was trying to think. I remember we had Tyler Dragon on a few years ago during Radio Row, and they said they're super frugal. And the other thing too is I don't remember the last time they traded somebody. So this is not a team that likes to trade players. Yeah. They're probably just gonna let him sit there and let him, either fine him or not let him earn his money. And they're just gonna that's the way they do business. And I just don't see it changing for them. I just think they're not going to change the way they do. They're not going to change the way they do things. So, and I kind of feel bad for him, but the other problem is they're letting Joe Burrow run this team. So whatever Joe Burrow wants to do, they're gonna let him do. So at this point, if I'm Trey Hendrickson, I go talk to Joe Burrow and be like, hey, can you go and tell him that you need me on the other side? Because you're not going to win games if I'm not on this team.
R.I.P. to Bob McNair, who once famously said, do not let the inmates run the asylum.
Yeah.
God bless him. It's true. You know
But-
what? That's why
I think
I
he's
think
still
the Bengals are
alive.
gonna be-
He's dead.
No, I think Bob McNair died.
Yeah. Remember the son is running the
Oh, is it
team now.
son? It was
Yeah,
also
but I
old?
remember everybody shout on him and
No
they're like,
difference.
"Oh, that's racist." I'm like, "No, that's a saying I've heard for years."
I can't.
So-
That's why I
remember.
don't think the Bengals will be good. That's why you haven't seen the Lakers
I-
be good or any
I
of these
just can't
LeBron
see the
teams. Like,
Bengals. I just can't see the Bengals being that good next year,
Oh,
especially
Cal
if you lose.
McNair.
no,
Huh?
Cal
no.
McNair.
I think he's the one that's alive or dead. I can't remember.
Yeah,
No,
Bob
Cal McNair is the
was
one running
Yeah,
things. He's
yeah,
the
Cal's
son.
the one. Yeah,
Yeah, Bob McNair's
Yeah.
the old.
he
the
looks
one
really
that
old
died.
too. That's why I thought
Yeah.
it was his dad.
But I just don't see how the Bengals are going to be that good with all this stuff. By the way, JJ Watt on Twitter goes, I assume it went something like this last offseason. We can't do the deal now, but we'll make you right next offseason and get it done early. Player has great season this offseason, low ball offer and or crickets. Pay a fair price early or pay top dollar later. Teams want to treat it like a business, but they don't like it when players do the same. Then Kyle Van Noy goes, JJ, the next excuse these teams can no longer use is age. Numbers are numbers. Trey deserves his cash and will continue to ball except for 2 games this season because obviously they play the Ravens. But that's so true because I remember with Kyle Van Noy, they were like, oh, the numbers and like he's 30-something years old. He comes to the Chargers. He had like 7.5 sacks for the Chargers. Then last year, he has, I think, almost 13 or 12 for the Ravens. So I mean, yeah, you can't. There's only so many excuses you can run with.
This is a PR nightmare for the Bengals too, because sometimes what these teams don't understand also is like an agent, a player, whoever, they're going to be hesitant to go to some of these teams if they don't know how to do business correctly. Because right now it's Trey Henderson, and next time it's obviously a Jamar Chase or whoever that after that or signs with them later. And it's like the way you do business, I think, is a huge thing of what attracts free agents. And that's why I think sometimes you see the Bengals, sputter and they're not very good consistently. So,
yeah. All right. Let us quickly get to we'll come back to all the other schedule stuff. Let's do real quick. What is one matchup you want to see in prime time this season? Dan, why don't you go first?
to have Lions Packers? What did I put?
No,
Lions. Lions Bears. Yeah, Lions Bears. I want to see this because I want to see. I always loved one of my favorite college football matchups was Nick Saban versus ex-assistant. That's always my favorite. So I want to see if Hilberto's quarterback over there, the finger painting.
Hey, Caleb almost had him last year before that dumb timeout.
So it's going to be interesting to see if
or not timeout.
Johnson is the wizard everybody thinks he is. So that's the matchup I can't wait to see.
Vic, you're on mute.
My bad. I'm over here trying to do different things at the same time.
You're good.
Detroit Lions at the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a matchup that we kind of thought we wanted to see last year. We never got it. We thought we were going to get in the playoffs. We didn't do it. The last time these two teams faced each other was opening 2022 season. AJ Brown goes off on the Lions, and I can't wait to see this matchup again this season. This was one of the ones I kind of wish we got to start the season, but we didn't get it. So now I just want this matchup to be early in the season too. Like whether it's Sunday Night Football, it would be a great matchup to see. Give it to me in the first 7 weeks. Don't wait till the end of the season. Kind of like when we got 49ers Eagles, like what was it, week 14, week 15, when everybody was injured. I want to see the two best offensive lines going at each other. And I mean, I this is a matchup that we wanted to see last season. They weren't scheduled to face each other. We hope we got it in the playoffs. We never got there. So This is the one that I want to see it. And I want to see it in prime time.
We never got it because Dan's Lions shit the bed, and my Commanders, upset Dan Campbell's team, and we got the blowout. in the NFC
After
title
you
game.
picked up number 1 for 4 or 8 weeks in a row, and every single week a player went down.
Is that my fault? They
that's why
can't play
shit the bed.
defense, and they can't defend Jaden Daniels.
You know the 2 coordinators sold out. What are we even talking about?
Yeah,
dude?
they already
They
checked
totally
out.
wanted it.
God, what did I miss?
By the way,
I spoke
I
Dan
think
about
they
the Lions
needed-
blowing it last
They
year.
need to change that rule, I think, when it comes to head coaching searches. They should not be allowed to hire coaches until after the Super Bowl because that's ridiculous. You have coordinators selling out just so they can get a jump start at their new coaching job. It's a joke.
Well, my Commanders ruined that matchup there, but maybe we'll get it with Lions and Eagles. And I think I already saw the Bears have like 2 or 3 primetime games.
I know. We'll talk about that.
Nobody learned their lesson from last year, huh?
Dan's gonna be excited. I will go next. Gilbert, go ahead. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah. So you guys have the NFC. Maybe
I'm done with these 2
even
teams.
Bills
I'm done with
Eagles
these
is
2
really
teams.
good, but I'll go with Bills Ravens just because guys, breaking news. I don't think I'm gonna pick the Chiefs this year. So if the Chiefs are done, is it the Bills or the Ravens? Is it the Bills or the Ravens? So give me that game.
Is the world ending?
I don't know. I got Chiefs fatigue now. They were terrible in the Super Bowl.
exchange?
See, that's a good.
By the way, the
to
Ravens
let you go.
starting safety just tore his Achilles working out.
The Ravens.
Yeah.
We
The
need
Buffalo
a breaking
Bills-
news thing.
I know.
Gilbert is not picking the Chiefs
For
to make it
real.
to the
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
I'll say that. But I don't know who to pick, the Bills or the Ravens. Maybe the winner of this game. I'll go with that because they've been so close the last 2 years, and their playoff game was really good.
Jorge wants you to pick somebody.
No,
Dan does not.
Come on, you guys don't like that.
No, the curse.
Yeah,
On
if
top of
I
that,
pick
Bills,
them,
Ravens-
they're gonna be cursed. If I don't pick them, I'm a hater, so I can't. win with you guys.
Darius Washington.
Bills Ravens is the choker bowl. That's what I call it. That's what they are.
But maybe this year's different. Come on, we need somebody else from the AFC to come out the AFC. Can we do that?
Dan has somebody.
I do have somebody, but it just depends what the Zebras and Roger Goodell want to do. And
Or the
everything
travel
else.
schedule depends that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, baby.
I will
don't
go.
mind it.
Last year, I made a comment about if
I remember.
both teams were healthy, there'd be a blowout.
They laughed at you. They laughed at you.
In the NFC Championship, there was a blowout.
No, get the hell out of here. Like they won 2 playoff games to get there. You thought this team was really crappy.
All I said is if they played and they were remember they were blowing them out, and then what's his name? Jalen Hurts got the C word, and then he was out for the game, and then they came back.
You know,
they laughed at
you did not envision an NFC title game between these 2 games. You would have laughed at me if I would have predicted that.
All I said
You
is
changed your
play
Super
again,
Bowl
it's
team
gonna be a
4
blowout.
times.
Okay,
You
whatever.
changed your Super Bowl team 4 times. What are
You
you
got
talking
it,
about?
but Brad, I won't give you crap. You gave them the respect for winning 2 playoff games in Tampa and Detroit to get there and to prove your point. Yes, he got blown out.
Hey, Hingle.
Loser. Wow. What a loser.
I may not be able to run a mile, but I'll knock your ass out.
Oh,
Like, I
Hingo.
am
Okay,
right now.
the Kringleberry. Okay, put on
That's
your real
hilarious.
name.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hilarious.
No. Wow, is that the second time that's happened?
Yeah.
He's
That
at
guy's
a
a
good amount
prick.
now.
That guy can kiss my ass. How about that?
By the way, so
Hingo McKringleberry.
I want to see this game just because I want to see what the Commanders are really all about in year 2 with Jaden, and I want to see if this is going to be the game that'll determine the division or not. Because I haven't liked Washington's moves. Like Laramie Tunsil to me is not all that, and then Deebo Samuel. I know everybody's saying we're going to get a motivated Deebo Samuel, but is he going to be the guy that we all think he is? I don't know. Is he the guy that he was when he was with the 49ers back in the day? I don't know. So until that, I'm going to question. Then, like Gilbert said, they lost a lot of pass rush on Philadelphia. They lost some key pieces. They also gained some key pieces, but I still don't think that this Eagles team is done making moves. Trey Hendrickson, to me, I don't know why. It feels like
they need an edge rusher.
he might be an Eagle. But yeah, I'm with Flipside. I'm not high
I
on Deebo either.
would see them do that. Yeah.
But all right, let's go to the next thing. What is the schedule wish list for the Rams and Chargers?
Let
Gil,
me
why don't you
pull
start
up
us
a
off?
comment here that was really good.
Yeah.
Or
Hold
let
on.
Dan go before he goes.
Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I'll do this one real quick. Do you have mine? Is it a banner or do I just say it?
No, just say it. It's
Oh,
pretty.
my wish list? schedule wish list for the Chargers. Just win. I don't pull some bullshit
Okay.
where we're just
Al
over
Davis.
here not doing the right thing and everything else. So just win the damn thing. That's my thing. Just win.
Here's Jesse's. It says, with much of travel for both the Chargers and Rams, what would be the ideal bye week for them? So for the Chargers,
I
what would
appreciate
the-
that, Jorge.
It hasn't
halfway
happened
through-
yet, right? We don't
halfway
know
through
when.
the year, halfway through the
Anything
like in November.
before November is awful.
November.
I would have said, November, December.
November,
Right
five is
December,
the worst.
December's too late. I think November is a good time. Halfway through November, and then maybe if you could squeeze out that Thanksgiving game too. If you could squeeze out the Thanksgiving game and November, you'd have 2 mini bye weeks in November to get healthy and then to come back. So I definitely agree. I think November is kind of
too early or too late are the worst. So you don't
well,
want
they've
to
had it the last 2 years. They've had it week 4 and week 5. Like,
oh yeah,
super early.
super early.
Dan, before
I'm gonna jump off.
No,
Okay.
I need you real quick. We're just gonna let all 3 of us go, and then you go. I want one last thing from you, if that's fine.
Okay, what?
Okay. Well,
hurry up.
Off real quick, and then we'll go.
Well, yeah,
hold on.
like I got something I gotta go to. So
No, you're fine.
you got a hot date?
no, it's work related, but
Dan,
fun work related.
did you hear this?
Way make the most of it.
All right, so I know that you're aware that your relationship
First off, who is that? What is this?
over the last
Bill
few
Belichick.
Oh, okay.
specifics aside, because a lot has come out in the last couple of days. How do you think that impacts your ability to coach this football team, if at all?
Yeah,
Ooh.
I mean that's really off to the side. It's a personal relationship, and she doesn't have anything to do with UNC football.
Is that today?
I'm excited to be back in the coaches meetings and getting ready for June, and then August when we get to training camp. So June will be a big recruiting month for us.
They
Dan,
asked him about her.
what does
Yeah,
your
we are
favorite
training
head
now.
coach become?
I don't know, man. I was talking to someone about that today. I was like, "There's no way." We have the best chat. Besides that bitch down there, we have the best chat. in the world. That guy can kiss my ass. That guy can kiss my ass. That's hilarious. We have the best chat besides that little bitch. But that's hilarious. That's hilarious. I was telling someone today about it. I'm like, there's no way, how can I put this delicately, that it's that good that it just cripples a 6-time Super Bowl winning head
Well, when
coach.
you're 70 and the other
Two-time.
person's 20 something.
Dude, come on. Let's be real. This guy has millions. He could pay top dollar to get the top dollar recruits,
Come on.
or he can.
Robert Kraft was his boss.
Pablo,
That's not the right way to do it.
Pablo said he doesn't think Bill Belichick even coaches this year for UNC. That UNC at one point might ask him, "Hey,
Well, he has like a $1 million buyout. It's pretty easy to get him.
Right.
No,
Which he did because of the NFL, but they could.
Yeah,
they could go the other way themselves.
Yeah, like they could tell him, "Hey, we don't want you. We don't want you coming here." So
yeah, it's hilarious, dude. I just can't believe it. Like, obviously, it's one of those things where I always say, like, look at the art, not the artist. But it's hard to not think, like, man, where's the guy who was winning Super Bowls, who was the most hated, who,
He's in his 70s. He probably can't even coach anymore. Come on, let him live.
This guy's crazy. Are you kidding me? Dick LeBeau was out there killing people, and he was in his 80s.
He was a coordinator. Okay, he was a head coach.
It still counts.
Can you imagine if,
You
like,
remember?
hey,
You remember? I said Kyle Shanahan should have hired him at the Niners to be a coordinator.
Yeah,
That would have.
perfect.
That's
You
what
can
he
have
should
your
have done.
girlfriend Run the
Get
asylum.
the
I guess.
best closer in the game.
if
dude.
they said that Bill
Yeah,
Belichick
right.
passed away being in vigorous activity, I'm gonna be like, "Whoa, he went out the way he wanted."
Exactly, smiling.
All right, Dan. Thank you so
All right,
much.
Dan.
Everybody,
Appreciate
take it
you.
easy. Have a good
Later.
one.
See you later. So I'll go to mine. I put no crazy road trips in December. The Chargers cannot have a crazy road trip in December. Last year they went to Atlanta. They switched and gave them a Thursday night game against the Broncos.
Didn't
The
they
only
win
time
a
I
bunch
saw-
of games during that period? They were fine.
No, I know, but then you went to New England. It's just a lot of back and forth. And I just think no crazy road trips. Like, not like when I say no crazy road trips, like don't take them to Miami one week and then the next week have them go to like I don't know, where else do they go? The Giants. Like nothing crazy like that. Like that's what I'm saying. Like not a lot of road trips in not a lot of far road trips.
Did they stay in West Virginia or something? Like they had back-to-back
last year. Yeah, they played the Panthers and then they played the Steelers and they stayed out there. So I could envision that if the NFL kind of wants to help them out, which I don't know if they do, is keep them in Jacksonville or have them play Miami, keep them in Miami, or like something like that. Like keep them out there. But I don't think that
you ain't throw them a bone with all this traveling. So
yeah. I think there's gonna be a time where they stay out there. I could see them having a Giants, playing the Giants, and then going and playing the Dolphins later that week or something to that extent. So but I will be going to that Miami whenever it is. I will be going to that.
Look at you.
So, yeah. Oh yeah, that one I ain't missing that Miami trip. But yeah, that is mine. Gilbert, you hadn't done yours, right?
I got one for the Rams here.
Yeah.
And I actually took the opposite approach because when you're beating the good teams in December and you're kind of getting that measuring stick and you're ready for the playoffs, like, oh, like you played the best teams in December, you feel good about the playoffs. So I for the Rams, I think for them, if they play, I think I saw they have the Ravens and the Eagles on the road. Get them in December. Also, too, if you're the Rams, get out the cupcakes in the beginning because they can't win in the September over the last couple of years. They've been like 1-4, 0-3. Line up all the scrubs in in September and October. Get all the good teams in the back end, and maybe that does them good because they've been very, I guess they've been a good team, but very limited when it comes to the playoffs. They got the one and done in Detroit. Was that game overtime? I don't think so. I forget. And then they lost in the second round.
Yeah, it was an overtime game. They never got the ball back. Remember?
Yes. They lost to the Eagles. So they kind of have this thing where they play slow in the beginning and then they get kind of hot at the end. Maybe for them the best case is if they kind of had it spread out pretty well where they're playing well in September through December. Why not? Maybe put all the tough teams at the end. Maybe they'll do them some good at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's pretty good. For me, for the Rams, I went with the bye week after playing the Jaguars in London. I mean, that would be. It looks like it's going to be the Jaguars week 7. So week 8 which would be perfect. It would be right in the middle of the season. And then last season they had to play 2 Thursday night games. If I'm them, you only want 1 Thursday night game, even though they swept both of them. So maybe. But the other thing too was a couple years ago, they had 4 teams coming off of a bye. If they can limit that to 2, that would be another good thing for them as well.
Damn, Vic, you're like a spoiled kid on Christmas.
Yeah, well, we said wish list. If you're the Rams,
I know.
Yeah.
Well, and also Gilbert, the Chargers play like all the good teams that they play are at home, so that's why I was like, no crazy road trips in a sense. But yeah, that's that is that. Derek Carr retiring, Gilbert. What was your what did you think? Because some people were like hyping him up, other people were tearing him down, and I'm kind of like, there's a lot of movement when it comes to Derek Carr's kind of a controversial guy. I mean, we remember. Oh no, my bad. So when Dan, Adam, and I were in an Uber, this guy was just trashing the shit out of Derek Carr in New Orleans. He's like, man, I don't even think if you kidnap Derek Carr's kid, would he play better than anything that he can do right now? And he was just roasting him. I'm like, geez, dude, like relax. But fans were not happy with him.
Yeah, I get when a player that retires, you want to say good things, but I'm going to say good things, but I think with Derek Carr's career, it kind of defines a problem with quarterbacks in the NFL. And I get it. It's hard to find 32 superstar quarterbacks. And I think Derek Carr was probably always in the middle. He had that one year where he was a top 3 MVP candidate. He wasn't a top 3 quarterback, but he was playing well. I mean, maybe he was top 10 that year, but he was always top 12 to top 16. And when you have those guys who are very consistent and, they're not going to be clutch, they're going to win you a lot of games in crunch time. But when you look at the stats at the end of the year, almost 4,000 yards, maybe 25 to 30 touchdowns, and the picture not so bad. You take that all the time instead of trying to look for that quarterback. That fear of not having a top 16 quarterback really kind of, lets people settle in the middle, like, be mediocre. So you get stuck with a 6-win season, a 7 or 8-win. You never search for the quarterback. And look at the Raiders. It took them 9 years to kick out Derek Carr to the curb. I get he got paid after that one good year. Maybe for him, it was like, hey, he got 14, I think that was his third year, 14, 15, 16. So they fell into the cycle after that, and you can't get out of it. It's like Kirk Cousins too. Like the Vikings did it for a good amount of years. The Washington team, formerly known as the R team back in the day, they had a couple of franchise tags on him. So whenever you get a quarterback who's in the top 12, top 16, you go for it because you're afraid of having no quarterback. To me, it's like, I'd rather have like, I don't know, should I say the Brown situation? But at least that you have a whole quarterback. You're going to go try to get a Patrick Mahomes or a Josh Allen. So to me, too many teams are afraid to say, all right, you know what? I don't know who's going to be this year. I'm going to go draft some guy. I'm going to go sign somebody. I'm going to go trade with somebody. I'm going to go get the next Brett Favre, who was a rookie with the Falcons. And the Packers said, we want that guy on our team. Boom, here's a trade. Maybe Joe Milton right there, Fernando, second-year guy. But teams don't take chances. They don't go and get that franchise superstar quarterback because they get comfortable with a Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins. So to me, very productive, but it's going to get you nowhere. And I think with the Saints and the Raiders, it just took them a long time to realize it.
Yeah. Gilbert? Or sorry, Vic.
No problem.
After my rant there.
And Philly, we'll get to your comments there. He's going on a tangent about the Cowboys, which I love. I made Derek Carr my burial last week, and then he decided to retire. But I'll give him his props. I'm with you, Gilbert. The first 3 seasons, I mean, he was drafted in the second round out of Fresno State, and he produced. I mean, he was an MVP candidate in 2016 until he broke his ankle right before Christmas and against the Colts, and he was never the same after that. And you kind of feel bad for him because he had the talent. He was better than his brother. He had a better career than his brother. He made a bunch of money. And so I never fault people for actually making money. And part of my burial last week for him was just the comments that he made. And, maybe you don't see people giving up $30 million and retiring. So, I mean, the shout out to him for
I kind of have
being
a theory about that, Vic. I think he's negative now, but he got a $10 million roster bonus. He probably already knew in the back of his mind he's not going to play. And it's like, you know what? I'm not that kind of guy. Take the 30. I'll take the 10. I'm cool with that. I'll be cool with that too. Give my $10 million. But he could have said back in January, hey, I can't play and not get the roster bonus. But hey, he earned his money. I'm just saying that. To me, it kind of felt a little fishy there.
Yeah, that is true. And I still have I still, like, in the back of my mind think that he's gonna sit out this year and he probably comes back because he did not want to play for the Saints anymore.
Yep.
And so he still hasn't had surgery on that shoulder. So something tells me at the end of the day, they both were done with each other, and that was the best way to go about it. Now he can rest for a year, have the surgery when he wants, and be back next year. But we'll see. I've also heard that he's definitely going to stay retired. But in terms of his career, like, I never fault people for making their money. Like, if someone's willing to give you that money, that's on them for giving you the money. In terms of him being, what he accomplished in his career, I know a lot of Raider fans were mad at me because I was like, look, he's done. It's time for him to move on. But I also like the philosophy that you've said, Gilbert, is like, you should be drafting a quarterback every other year if you haven't found the guy you want. And I think that's the problem that the Raiders ran into. And now the Saints are having to go through that as well. So we'll see what happens. But, farewell to him. I mean, I don't feel bad for him because he made all that money at the end of the day. I mean, as a second round pick, where a lot of people, I think, didn't want to draft him because of his brother, and he ended up proving a lot of people wrong. So at the end of the day, he had a successful career. Even if people say, well, he made all that money and he only made one playoff appearance, and that's
he never actually played in that game, right? He was already hurt, or I forget.
Yeah, he got hurt.
He played the one. What was the
one against the Bengals where they lost?
Cook started that one against the Texans.
Yeah. That's the one where he missed, and he played the Bengals one. You're right.
Yeah. So technically, he led them to 2 playoff appearances, but he only played in 1.
2 in 9 years. So
yeah.
Rich Eisen said on his show that the Texans really like Derek Carr coming out of the draft, and that they were like, we can't do it. Like, we can't David and then go with Derek. He said that Mark Davis wanted Derek at number 4 or number 5, and that They were able to convince him, hey, he's going to drop all the way to us in
Khalil
the
Mack,
second round.
Yeah.
And they ended up getting Khalil Mack in that draft. I agree with Vic. I don't think he's done. I think he just didn't want to play. He's willing to sit out for a year, 34 years old. He's only 34.
Yep.
Unless what happened to Ryan Tannehill just happens to him where nobody wants his services. And I think there was a team last year that did want Ryan Tannehill, but he wanted more money than what they were asking for. I think Derek, I think somebody will bring him in as a backup. I don't think anybody's going to bring him in as a starter. So if he wants to play, it'll be that way. I don't think it'll be as a starter. I don't think there's a team right now that I can think of. I mean, the Giants collect starting quarterbacks.
I don't know if Derek Carr views himself as a backup. That's a problem. I feel like.
Well, that was the other thing that I heard was that the Saints said, we see you as a backup going forward. And he was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not having shoulder surgery just to be a backup.
Derek can say everything that he wants and paint the picture as like he sounds like a politician when he speaks. But at the same time, we all know the truth. Like he thinks higher of himself than what he really is, which is nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to the NFL,
we've seen 11 years of sample size.
Right? Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody's seen the sample size. So, average to below average quarterback, he was fine.
He's right in the middle.
I think, I just thought he kind of got screwed with everything that happened. I mean, you have Jack Del Rio. You have John Gruden, then John Gruden has to leave because of the emails. Then Josh McDaniels can't stand you. So did he get screwed? Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. I never thought there was anything like he's better than his brother, but like there's nothing like special to where you're like, oh, like, yeah, this is what I'm going to remember Derek Carr for. No, I'll remember it more for his sermons or whatever than probably the stuff that. And then when he saw Vic Tafer and he saw Adam Hill and everybody at Chargers, when it was Chargers Saints joint practice, and he's like, my friends. I thought that was
the people he blocked.
Yeah, I thought that was the funniest thing in the world. So yeah, I mean, average, below average, wherever you want to put him. Again, I don't think he's done unless he isn't going to come back as a backup. Then I think he is done. But as of right now, I could totally see him come back and try and play after a year, go rest up his body, and then say, you know what, let me give it one more go at it. Because I remember when I talked to Tony Jefferson last year, who came back after being out for almost 2 years, he told me I needed to rest my body up. Sometimes you rest right now, your body tells you, yeah, no, screw this, I don't want to do this anymore. But then you kind of sit out, your body starts recovering, and your body then tells you, hey, you know what? I think I can still do this. So who knows what his body will tell him after 1 year of sitting out. But right now I can tell you, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he'll still be on social media. I think, or he'll start doing videos. He'll start doing stuff. He'll post his thoughts, do some weird stuff. And it's going to be annoying because nobody cares about his thoughts. But definitely
he'll do TV with his brother.
I don't even. Well, I'm not even getting into that. But do you still remember 2 or 3 years ago? He thought he's like the Raiders are going to win the Super Bowl. My brother's going to be the MVP of the league. Like right there. That should have been all right, dude. You know what?
Yeah,
and I think this was Bisaccia. I think is who they fired.
Bisaccia. Yeah. Bisaccia really loved him. But by the way, did you see Bisaccia came out today and said that he needs to be better so that the Packers win more? He's like, I felt like I've let, what's his name? Who's the head coach? LaFleur. He's like, I feel like I've let LaFleur down. I'm like, what? Like,
well, he was supposed to be one of the best special teams coordinators.
They were bad last year.
And they've been bad for a couple years.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when he was with the Chargers, they were really good when he was with the Chargers. Then he was really good when they were everywhere he's gone. They've been really good.
Yeah, the Cowboys or Raiders.
The thing is that and see, this is the thing that I've noticed, and I'm not trying to take a shot, but I've only known one team essentially. Like, yeah, I go sometimes to Saints, Raiders, stuff like that. I've only known one team, but when you would talk before to previous like 5th round, 6th round, 7th round draft picks, do you play special teams? No, not really. But I mean, if they want me to, I guess I can. These last 2 years, you asked the 5th, 6th, 7th round draft picks, do you play special teams? Yeah, that's kind of my thing. I like playing special teams. I love running down the field, doing stuff like that. So it's like when you draft, you have to kind of draft for both, and it seems like that's what some certain teams do, and maybe the Packers aren't doing that.
Maybe
Maybe
these
they're
wide
not
receivers, that all 10 of them that they have could play special teams.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the goal.
And oh no, they weren't there. Gabe Davis yesterday met with the 49ers.
49ers.
Tomorrow he's going with the Giants. So.
Don't say Packers.
Oh no. Well, they already have a problem with one of the receivers. Reed is
Reed.
the one that had to be sat down and talked about what his roles.
He wasn't very good last year either, but yeah.
Well, yeah, he was good that.
He
but
was
see,
rookie.
the thing is, he wasn't good his rookie year. He was good in the back end. Those last 4 weeks of the season,
Yeah,
and then
he went
the
off.
playoffs.
And then that Brazil game, he went off, and then he did nothing.
Yeah. So
was he on your fantasy team, Gilbert?
Yeah, I thought he's gonna pop off, and he.
You know how you can tell he gets frustrated. That's how you can tell he's on his.
Well, the quarterback is not good either, but I had to watch these Packer games, and Jaden Reed just couldn't get the ball. He couldn't get open. He's kind of a small gadget guy too.
Yeah. Oh, let's go with this now. If you're Aaron Rodgers, are you still going Steelers? You're not going anywhere else, Gilbert?
Yeah, I'm not going to New Orleans. That team franchise has done nothing. The GM is still there, Mickey Loomis. I could crap on the Saints all day. If Derek Carr don't want to be there, that tells you everything. So, yeah, it's still the Steelers, man. You got DK Metcalf. You get a good enough O-line. They're still very young, but I think a couple first-round picks on there. You get Caleb Johnson, the rookie running back, and you get Mike Tomlin, who's a competent head coach, and Kellen Moore. No offense to the guy, we just never seen him as a head coach. So, to me, I still rather go to Pittsburgh, where I know you're going to win 9 games, maybe be one and done in the playoffs. But the Saints really going to make the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers? I don't think so.
Vic, can you take this off real quick?
Yep, of course.
Speaking of Mickey Loomis, let's go to the streets out in New Orleans and see what fans think.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. I had to get off the line because everybody's phone went off at the same time. I thought it was like a weather advisory or something, but no, it was a message from God himself. Only thing we need next is Mickey Loomis gone.
He's not a good GM. I think people this is the first time in a long time I hear people saying what I've been saying for the last 3 years this offseason. Finally, like I never got this franchise since freaking Drew Brees retired, Sean Payton left. And you look at one common denominator, it's freaking Mickey Loomis. He's making all the picks. Can't even get the right damn. Like, look at their O-line. Cesar Ruiz, 2021 first-round pick, not good. Trevor Penning, 2022 first-round pick, not good. Fuaga, great training camp last year. So rookie year. I'm not gonna say he's gonna be a bust just yet. Year 2. Then you draft another lineman. And Kelvin Banks Jr., I have no faith in this team developing linemen. Like what do people say all the time? Draft linemen in the first round. You're never gonna mess it up. Who messes it up? The freaking Saints, man.
The Saints or the Seahawks?
Pretty much. McCoy's a good center. I'll give him that one. But that's 5 first-round picks, and they can't even get it right. So it's Mickey Loomis, man.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think what New Orleans should have done, but Mrs. Benson's just not going to do that. Mrs. Benson has been with Mickey Loomis since her husband was there, so he's been there for he's one of those guys that quietly stays there, and he's still living off of 2009 when they beat the Peyton Manning.
No, that 2017 draft.
Oh yeah, the 2017 draft as well. So, but he's still I meant he's living off of that Super Bowl. So yeah, but the problem is that when you look at when you look at the Steelers, the thing with Aaron Rodgers is that does he want to play? It sounds like he still hasn't even decided. Last time he was on McAfee show, he's like, well, I still don't even know if I want to play, but right now I'm handling the situation. It must be a family thing, and it must be pretty serious because
it's going to Egypt in June. He's trying to go.
He loves this, man. He's gonna play the Steelers till the end.
He's gonna sign in July, middle of July, and then show up to training camp.
I think he's waiting for the
Vikings.
I think I think he's gonna wait till and that's the problem.
I don't want you, man.
I don't know. What if they see JJ McCarthy and they're like, you know what, that knee, this, that. I'd love to see it. You fulfill the prophecy.
And then if you're the Steelers, this guy's waiting for the other girl to show interest. Like, you're gonna be the number 2. Like, come on, have some pride here.
I don't
the
know.
Steelers are used to this.
See. I would love to see Aaron Rodgers in Minnesota. I think it'd be great, and I think he's going to try and use his personal relationship with Kevin O'Connell, because they used to hang out here in San Diego when. Yeah, because Aaron had a house in San Diego, then he bought one in Malibu. But Aaron was always down here. Like, people would always catch him at like the mall and all this stuff, and he'd just be walking around or whatever. But Kevin O'Connell lived down here too, and they used to hang out a lot. So I'm just saying it'd be really interesting to see if what's going to happen. But I actually see him retiring if it's not Minnesota. What are you going to go to Pittsburgh for? I know everybody says that this fool could grab a dead corpse and they'd be 10-7. I just don't see. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it now. I don't buy it this year. I don't.
You were talking about Aaron Rodgers. I didn't realize you were talking about Mike Tomlin.
No, yeah, no. I was talking about
Bernie's quarterback edition.
I just don't see. I just don't see them.
Honestly, he would. If I was Aaron Rodgers, I would dress. You know how he likes dressing up for Halloween.
Oh yeah.
He should dress up as the guy from Weekends at Bernie's.
Oh yeah. The boss, Mr. Yeah. It's Bernie. Duh. Yeah.
It's pretty much set up though, Fernando. You don't go the entire draft without drafting a quarterback into the 6th round or not signing one that's not Mason Rudolph. Like, I think they already know it's a handshake agreement. At least what I think. And he's working out with DK Metcalf too.
Well, that's true. And George Pickens wasn't there.
Yep.
That was the interesting part. Yeah, but I just. Like, they're gonna need another receiver. I know they say that they like Terrell Austin and they like Roman Wilson and everything, but all you have is DK and the tight
call
end.
Up the Packers for Romeo Dobbs, watch.
Oh,
yeah,
or Jaden Reed.
Yeah, well, he never played with Reed.
That's
but
true.
Christian Watson, maybe. Oh no, he tore his ACL at the end of the season. Huh?
Yeah, I can't stay healthy.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, again, I could see him retiring. I think he does end up a Steeler. I just wonder when he's going to do this. Because like you said, like if he just shows up in training camp, like what's his name did. Sometimes I wonder if networks ask them and like, hey, we have nothing else to talk about. Can you guys like hold off and wait? Like we know you guys aren't winning a Super Bowl anyway. So you might as well should just wait. And
well, doesn't he do his usual trip? He takes a trip, right?
But I think I don't know if he's taking one this year. He had there was nothing that was said, but he said he didn't have anything scheduled, so I can't say he has anything scheduled. But I don't know. I think he's gonna pop up on McAfee pretty soon, I bet. And I just thought he jumped on.
I'll tell you this, Fernando, and I'm starting to hear things, and I'm sure you are too. I'll say this is. It sounds like McAfee might be going to Netflix because Rich Eisen just moved over to ESPN.
Oh, yeah.
So I would tell you this. I think it's going to be the Steelers, and I think he's going to make the announcement on Pat McAfee, the first episode that he's there with, that they announced that he's moving over to Netflix.
So speaking of that, McAfee tweeted out on Sunday, I'm up to something. Mm-hmm. On Monday, they announced Rich Eisen is going to ESPN. And then today, McAfee said on his show, hold on, I just had it. McAfee said on his show, what's that Twitter? Hold on. McAfee said on his show, basically, hold on, sorry. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to stay awake. Sorry. I woke up 12 hours ago.
So he said, I learned about Rich Eisen coming back to ESPN. I'm a big fan of Rich. Rich has been very nice to me, very cool with me. He's going to be live noon to 3 Eastern. That's a good time slot. That's McAfee's time slot.
Yep.
That feels very interesting, but also I love Rich Eisen, so I'm cool with whatever. Noon to 3 is fascinating for sure. Is that a message? I don't know. But yeah, cool, whatever. But nonetheless, we're happy for Rich. So I respect it.
We'll tie this into Backlash, but because that probably is the next thing we'll talk about. But it's interesting that he had a match when you could have had anybody else from the WWE superstars. You put him in there. You have the whole connection with TKO and Netflix. So all this makes a lot of sense, Fernando. I mean,
well, no, and he's a
I'll be
ratings
shot-
he's
Yeah.
a ratings machine.
Right.
Like, it seems to me, you know what I think he ends up doing? I think he ends up quitting college football game day. He ends up just doing wrestling and his show the rest of the way, with other events in the middle and other stuff going on. But
I
I
would
think
just
that's
be
what he's gonna do.
surprised he would give that up just because Lee Corso just retired. And
But I think his contract is up.
Okay.
McAfee. So unless they re-sign him, but I think if
Well,
this
release
all
ESPN.
happens, they're gonna be. Well, I mean, look at everything that he does. Like, he is like, his thing is huge. Like, but he does a lot of frat stuff. Like, he had when he had Aaron Rodgers on there, Aaron asked him, "Oh, asked one of the guys, are you going to go to space?" Talking about all those women, Katy Perry and all those idiots that went into space.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I don't know, I don't have a green screen. And so, like, obviously, I'm sure
He doesn't
ESPN
believe it.
Yeah, huh?
He doesn't believe that they
So
went.
they just shot up and shot
Come
back
on,
down.
I mean, there is footage
Okay,
that
I
like
can
it
see
looks
that.
fucking fake. Sorry for
Yeah.
the F word there, but
No, you're good. Yeah, it
Yeah.
looked fake. And then what they were saying, like, oh, the world needed for us to go up there. Shut the hell up. The hell are you? But that's like they have jokes in there that I'm sure they don't like, and there's a lot of stuff.
And you
it's a
can do that on
frat show.
Netflix.
Yeah. No, and that's why I'm saying Netflix is probably salivating at the thought of having them. I'm sure ESPN did not like that Paul Heyman went on there and crapped on Shannon Sharp. And
This has
crapped
been
on,
in the works now because
Yeah.
they had the whole Norby thing happen
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
So this is coming. I mean,
Yeah, no. I completely agree. Which, I mean, for McAfee, he's probably going to sign even more than what he had originally. So yeah, no, and he's gotten good with the people at Netflix and everything. So I'm sure this is going to be a great deal for them. But yeah, I could definitely see when I saw on Monday Rich Eisen was leaving or coming to ESPN. I was like, oh yeah, this dude's definitely.
Yeah, I like how they made it like consumer to something, like they made it that way. I'm like, come on, like you can see the
Writing on the
the
wall.
breadcrumbs and everything, what's going on here.
I agree. Gilbert, did you watch Backlash?
I did not, so I can't wait to hear your recap because I did not watch anything. I don't even know who won.
Oh man, I wish Dan was here because I have some thoughts.
Well, let's get into Backlash. First of
sorry, my
all,
bad.
I did really enjoy McAfee and Gunther going at it. It was like a slap fest. Very good back and forth between them. I was actually surprised at how entertaining the match was. I thought it was funny how Gunther would put him in a hold, and then Michael Cole would be like, end it now, just end it, damn it. And they would not end. He would not end it. He played with his food. Gunther did. He kept on smacking him around, doing stuff like that. So I definitely thought that that was a great. I thought it was a good showing. I mean, it's Backlash after WWE. Roman's gone, other guys are gone, so I completely understood. But I don't know what you thought, Vic, about this match, but again, entertaining. I'm all for it. I thought it was fun. Again, did I take it as a serious wrestling match? No, I did not, because I knew what I was going to get. If you take off the hey, this is wrestling, that's not what you're going to get. But if you take it as entertainment, it was entertaining. I was definitely cool with it.
Yeah, I think for me, I was kind of thrown off a little bit in terms of, I knew, as you said, I knew what this was. I understood what they were doing at that point, especially after what he tweeted out a couple of days after. It kind of tells you that he's got a good thing going on with WWE. And I'm talking about Pat McAfee. And then the whole Gunther thing, it's just been kind of weird. So that was my only thing. If you're a purist, like a wrestling purist, I think this bothered you because you wanted to see, you're wasting someone like Gunther on Pat McAfee when you can use someone else here. So as you said, there was a lot of slapping. There was sometimes I would laugh just because they made it seem like he was actually in this match, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it was just like a
This was
performance.
supposed to be a squash match, but it was more entertaining squash. Like, you know, like he could have ended it earlier, but he had fun with it and he played with it. And again, I thought it was fine. This pay-per-view or PLE, I don't really take as seriously as like Money in the Bank. Like if they would have done this at Money in the Bank, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, something like that, then I would have been like, eh. But here I'm like, okay, it's Backlash, whatever. Like I remember this PLE used to be like whatever match happened at WrestleMania, you were watching that over again. But obviously, with a lot of the guys that like to split for a while, I understood why they didn't do it. But again, I thought it was entertaining. I was fine with it. I took it for what it was. And I said, don't think of it as a wrestling match. Just watch it for what it is. So I thought it was entertaining. I thought Michael Cole was actually pretty funny, especially when he tried. I actually thought he was going to get him and McAfee was going to pin Gunther. I was like, people are going to be so pissed. And he ends up kicking out of it. I was like, oh, okay, good. And then Gunther ended up winning. But I love what McAfee said on his show on Monday. Didn't tap out. Tap out. He's like, I got slept, but I didn't tap out. That's all I wanted. I didn't want to tap out. And I thought that was pretty funny. But that was that match. Dom against Penta. I thought it was fine. I just think that there was too much involvement outside of the ring. So I was kind of like whatever about like Finn. They're setting up an interesting story with him and Finn Balor because Finn had a chair. He didn't want to hit Penta with it. He got caught by the referee. But JD and everybody else kind of helped him. And then El Grande Americano came out and hit Penta in the head. And then he pinned him. So I thought that was funny. But yeah, I thought that match was fine. Again, I'm of the thought process that going into San Diego Survivor Series, Dominic Mysterio should be the Intercontinental Champion. So if he loses it, have him regain it. He's gonna need it. But I definitely found that match. It was fine. I mean, it was good, solid stuff. It's Dominic's second title defense. So I thought it was.
He's the greatest intercontinental champion of all time.
I just wish Dominic would embrace because he keeps on doing it. He has the mullet. He has the mustache. Just embrace it. Start cheating. Like throw the chair at the dude and then fall to the ground and start. Once he starts doing that, I really think the crowd's going to go ballistic and go and get excited because Dom right now, unfortunately, WWE created a baby face when they didn't mean to because the crowd is 1000% Dom. Like they're behind him and they love Dom. So the only thing I didn't like is on Monday Night Raw, Gilbert. I don't know if you saw this or the clip of it. He goes, I was talking to Liv right now because Liv is in Japan filming a movie. He's like, she told me good morning. And I'm kind of like, it's night. And they're like, Dom, do you understand how time zones work? And they were explaining it to him. And I'm like, so now he's a freaking idiot blonde, I guess. But I thought it was funny. But other than that, again, solid match. I'm interested to see who they pair up Dom with next. I don't think it's going to be, I think Penta and El Grande Americano are going to start their own thing. I'm interested to see what direction they go with Dom for his next title defense. Again, I don't think it's going to be Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor and him fight at either Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia or at SummerSlam.
I feel like they maybe dropped the ball with Penta and Dominic Mysterio. I thought it'd be a little better, or at least from what you're saying, I thought it'd be a better feud, or at least a better outcome.
Well, the thing is, Gilbert, and I was going to get into it in my portion of this, is that correct me if I'm wrong, Fernando, but this wasn't supposed to be the matchup for this wasn't even supposed to be in Backlash. What ended up happening, it was supposed to be Jey Uso and Logan Paul, and then out of nowhere they just threw this matchup because Dominic had already beaten him twice, and so there was no reason to have this matchup. I think
they wanted to use because John Cena and Randy Orton were the headliners for this match. They were like, oh, we can just use Jey Uso against Logan Paul at Saturday Night Main Event in 2 weeks, which is not this Saturday but next Saturday. So they just moved things around. But again, it was good. It just like the interference kind of does it in a little bit because it's like, okay, Dom needs to get one of these and win it on his own, and kind of the way he did the Intercontinental Championship, he won it on his own. Might as well just have him keep on winning on his own, but I get it.
Yeah, and I think part of it too is that you want to see a little bit more, and he's starting to show a little bit more.
Yeah.
He had a couple of great moves out there. There was one where he jumped and he caught Penta midway through and kind of did like a TDT, which was kind of cool to see. So he's starting to add more to his arsenal. You just wish they give him more to do instead of having interference like Fernando just said. But
yeah,
I think that's going to come with it, and he'll continue to develop his
Penta's Mexican Destroyer is nuts. Like the way he
Yeah.
can do it, I don't know. Like yesterday, I think he on Monday Night Raw, he like jumped off somebody's back and flew into it. Like that dude is so talented, and I get it. They're gonna put him with Ray Phoenix pretty soon, but I'm kind of like, dude, leave Penta by himself. Like I think he's solid. But they're gonna be the Lucha Bros. So they're gonna put him in a tag team probably pretty soon. But I think Penta, I don't think WWE knew what they were gonna have in this dude. I mean, he speaks English, he can do the media rounds the way that Rey Mysterio has been able to. Fans, he comes out and fans do the like he greets fans with this, and fans love it. They're eating it up. So I definitely think that WWE has found themselves Mexican, Cero Miedo, have found themselves a star with Dominic Mysterio without the mask, speaking Spanish and being Latino. And then they found one with the mask that speaks English and Spanish and has a great set of wrestling moves.
Do you know, Fernando, if Penta's going to be in that, what's it called, Worlds Collide?
I think he's going to be in the Money in the Bank, though.
Okay, but not have him be like an appearance at Worlds Collide.
Oh no, he'll make an appearance. You know who they keep on saying El Grande Americano supposedly is going to wrestle.
Oh, yeah, okay,
yeah,
that'd be great.
But
That'd be a great
I definitely think Penta needs to be in that Money in the Bank. I think his high flying ability, and that thing would be fun. Let's just lastly go with the John Cena Randy Orton match. I thought,
come on, Fernando, come on.
I thought
give
the
it
first,
to us for real.
I thought the first 10 to 15 minutes of it was really boring.
Yes.
And then once Randy Orton and started like RKOing everybody in sight, it picked up. At the end, it picked up. I was surprised that John Cena put himself through 2 or 3 tables. Like he allowed himself to be put through that many tables. I thought Randy looked strong, even though he won. Again, the first 10 to 15 minutes, holy crap. Like Dan and I were kind of like, then it picked up, and then it got good at the end. And obviously John Cena ended up winning, but I definitely, you guys are all idiots.
You guys never acknowledged
jock. Yeah, right. You probably haven't even watched a second of it. But I definitely, again, yes, the first of it was boring. The second part of it I thought was good. Randy Orton just RKOing the crap out of people was great. I love that Randy Orton used the FU twice, or the attitude adjustment. They used it twice. I thought that was amazing to see. Jorge, you know you're lying through the skin of your teeth. But I definitely thought it was the ending was fine. The end, what was the right. Jorge, I'd love no, you wouldn't, Jorge. You're such a liar. That's a no contest. Vic, remind me, he kicks him in the nuts and then
yes. And then the whole thing with R-Truth.
That other thing that you were saying, Jorge, it's all a lie.
Yeah.
What does he do?
He hit him in the nuts and then he pinned him. But remember, there was the interference with R-Truth.
Oh yeah, it was the R-Truth
at the presser. That was kind of
dude.
That was
R-Truth was like, Randy, that's what I thought was a little weird.
Yes.
I thought it was weird. I get it though. I don't know if R-Truth and him are gonna wrestle. I'm interested to see who's gonna end the year with, but
yeah, I
thought that was all really weird. I'm really wondering what's gonna happen these next few months. I don't think Cena's regretting because people saw a video of him after. People were like, I think he's regretting the heel turn. I don't think he's regretting the heel turn.
No.
I think what he's doing is he's taking it in. The final, that's the last time he's going to be in wherever he was. I think he's taking in these final moments and he's kind of looking around. He's kind of like, damn, this is all going to come to an end in December. I already opened my big fat mouth. It's going to happen. I mean, I'm not going to feel this kind of energy. When you're an actor, you don't feel the energy from the crowd. You just act and then you're out. here you feel this energy when you're wrestling. The let's go Cena sucks. The you can't wrestle. All this other stuff. Like it's an energy that you can't. It's an energy that you can't replicate, and I really think that Cena's starting to realize that the clock is ticking. I'm telling you, when it's here in Survivor Series, I'm really interested to see what he's gonna do, because after Survivor Series is that Saturday night main event in Boston, and that's it. I think that's his last match. So I'm interested to see the way that Cena.
Who would you want it to be in that? Who's he going against in the last match?
In Survivor Series or in Boston?
Boston, the last one.
Here, while you think about it, let me give you my thoughts here. I'm with Dan now. I switched over Fernando, and I'm sorry, but I'll say this: the heel turn has been done just terrible. I'll be honest. I can't buy John Cena as a heel, and they probably waited too long. The fact that he's not involved all the time, I think too. Like the one thing I'll say this is that they used Randy Orton well to set this up. But as you said, this match was so boring. And then the whole thing now, first you had what's his name? The rapper come in and help
Travis
him
Scott.
out. Yeah, Travis Scott in WrestleMania. Now you have R-Truth. R-Truth, at least he's a wrestler. He's a guy who's there all the time, so I understand. And then you have the whole thing in the press conference where he's like, "Oh, come on, John Cena," and then he's like, "Well, if you say something again, I'm gonna do something." And of course, he throws him down the table there, during the press conference. And I'm just like, I think what needs to happen, Fernando, is he just needs to go back to being a babyface and just be the guy you are. Like, because that's been who everybody, it's just been a terrible the heel hasn't worked for me, and I keep waiting. You keep saying like, don't worry, it's coming. And I'm like, I'm at the point where I've just given up on it, and I feel bad because John Cena has put in the work, and I haven't bought it, Fernando, and I'm just being honest about it.
No, I get it. I'm kind of waiting to see, because the thing is, we saw it with Cody. Cody's just not a good, and I'm sorry, but he's not a good adversary when it comes to being on the mic. With Randy, you saw a little bit of more of it. And when he said, "Oh, Randy Orton's like his failed drug test from 2006, or his drug test from 2006, a failure," and he starts getting into it, I thought he's like, and he said it. He's like, who knows? Like nobody knows his grandpa, nobody knows his dad. I thought he was going to bring up the fact that Randy Orton allegedly was running through the whole Divas division, and they had to bring him to come and they had to bring his dad over to come and babysit him. I thought that he was going to use that angle. He didn't. I maybe would have gone that way. But I get it. And see, this is what I'm nervous about, that show coming out on Netflix where they're going to show how the writers and all them, how they come up with storylines and how they do all that. Because a lot of times I tell you guys on here, I feel like they come out, they just throw shit at the wall and hope it sticks. Yeah. And that's what I'm getting nervous that show's going to be, is that you're going to see a lot of crap and you're going to be like, but why? Why did you do this? Like, there's just a lot of stuff that they kind of do that I still question.
And I mean,
if I would have done the John Cena heel turn, it would have been half a year ago or a year ago exactly at this time, and spaced it out and given him a little bit more time. But he had TV stuff. He had this other stuff. And then the other thing is too, is the thing is that he came out with The Rock, and The Rock not being there, and him turning heel for The Rock and all that stuff. So what, did he just turn heel for the 17 championship? Like, he got it. Now what? So again, I don't think he should lose that championship until December.
I'm with you.
At the very end, but I feel like they're going to end up giving him, I think in San Diego, it's going to be Cody Rhodes and John Cena, and they're going to give him the championship, Cody Rhodes back, and say, oh, this is him passing it back to Cody Rhodes, and that's the passing of the torch. I just don't think that the torch can be passed yet. I still need to see a little bit more from Cody. I know that people really like him. He's great. He's a great ambassador for the sport, but I'm still interested to see what more he can do on and off the mic. But again, I understand the frustration with it. I'm just enjoying John Cena as it goes. Like, it is what it is. I know he's going to come back to being a babyface soon. It seems like each other at SummerSlam. By the way, if I was the WWE, I'd make John Cena pull a 2-for-1 at SummerSlam. Have him fight night 1, have him fight night 2. I don't know if his body can hold up.
I was gonna say,
but I'd be interested to see him. I'm interested to see the CM. I want to see AJ Styles, CM Punk, Roman Reigns. I don't really care if he fought Cody one more time or not. I know
I'd rather see Roman Reigns. I want to see what that would go.
I don't care.
Yeah,
Joe Hendry. I want to see him and Joe Hendry. I do want to see that. Yeah, exactly. But
Gilbert, did you hear Goldberg's back?
Yeah, he's fighting Gunther at SummerSlam.
No, he's not.
Yeah, it's his final match.
Dude,
he asked WWE for one final match.
It's been a mess.
Are you serious?
I feel bad for Fernando.
No, it hasn't happened yet. But him and Gunther, they set it up last year at Bad Blood.
So everybody gets a retirement farewell fight.
I guess so.
Match.
But again, I'm just gonna take it as it is. I'm interested to see how Cena ends out, but there are definitely some wrestlers I do want to see him go up against. I'd love for him to go to TNA maybe one day, like go over to TNA for a show and just talk shit out there. Maybe have a wrestler talk crap to him. The thing is, I hate that he has a limited number of days. 27. He has 25 days left. What the shit is that? Like, I thought when Cena announced this last year is that Cena was going to come back for the full calendar year and not fight at every single Monday Night Raw, not be at every single SmackDown, but at least give us a healthy dosage of it. And like the other day when I heard them say, oh yeah, yes, 27 days left, I'm like, 27? I'm like, are you kidding me? And that's probably
got to promote Peacemaker season 2. He's got to promote Peacemaker season 2.
Yeah, trailer.
That's another thing. Out. By the way, I wonder if he's going to come out as Peacemaker at all for any of this, because I remember somebody asked him at the night 1 in LA. So yeah. But again, I'm interested just to see what happens moving forward with him. But I'm gonna enjoy it again. The last match, I wish it would be Roman Reigns.
Yeah. That'd be good.
He's fought him as obviously the big dog, and then he's fought him as the tribal chief. But I just want one last Cena and him. CM Punk again would be a great one. Joe Hendry, AJ Styles, and then throw in some young guys. There's some young up and coming wrestlers that I'd love to see him wrestle. I just can't think. Oh, him and Dom. Oh, I'm definitely all in for him and Dom.
Even Braun Breaker or even Seth
Rollins. Well, my only issue is that Braun Breaker and him. I would be nervous.
He might break.
Yeah. Seth Rollins and him would be great. I would definitely love that.
Last thing, Fernando, how would you rate this Backlash? What will you be your grade for?
People like Becky Lynch and Valkyria. I thought that match would have a lot of botches in it, so I wasn't too happy with it.
Did she break her nose?
Yeah, she did. Yeah. That's why she wasn't there on Monday.
Yeah.
And Becky just came out and bitched, which I mean it's fine, but I just mean like she just came out like Dan's fed up with Becky because he's like she's just saying the same shit Cena's saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have given it a C-, D+. Nothing to write home about. So again,
you didn't miss a lot. You didn't miss anything.
Better than the boxing card, I will hope.
What were the other two matches? It was Becky, and then there was one more. What was the fifth match?
Hold on.
The Fatal 4.
Yeah,
the United States champion. That was fine. I mean, actually, no, that was a good match. Jacob Fatu ended up retaining, but I think Drew McIntyre got a concussion in that match. Damian put him through a table and he hit his head.
And did he end up in the hospital? Both of them, right? And they're gonna take some time off. Drew and Damian Pierce.
Supposedly. So SmackDown's gonna suffer. All right, let us go now and end with. Did you guys want to do your burials?
Yes, I'll be quick. I promise.
No, I was just making sure. All right, Vic. Why don't you start us?
Pretty fast. We were gonna talk about the Mavs winning the draft lottery after trading Luka to the Lakers.
I forgot about that.
Now they're gonna get Cooper Flag, but I was checking out Twitter and the whole timeline on our Compas Twitter was NFL reporters tweeting about the NBA, and I'm over here like, wait, hold on. I thought NFL was king, and you guys have the schedule released to report. What are we doing over here talking about the NBA? Like all of a sudden, I see, I see all the NFL reporters talking about the NBA, and I'm like, what the hell is going on over here? I thought and I became one of those guys that I'm like, hey, stay in your lane. There's NBA reporters for this. I guess the whole Shams Charania, because he also does NFL stuff just to mess with them. The NFL reporters decided, hey, we're gonna invade your territory, just like we're invading Christmas Day as well. So I just thought, I was like, what are we doing? NFL report, Adam Schefter, you had Ian Rappaport, you had Gilbert's co-worker as well doing the same thing, and even got into it because somebody called them out on it as well.
I thought that was funny.
If I was tweeting 24/7 NFL, I would not have the energy to tweet NBA, or I will hire somebody, I guess, to do it.
Yeah. So, and Adam Schefter just continues to tweet about NBA. So I'm like, maybe he's looking to move on to the move over, and he did do, because I remember when Woj suddenly left the beat, he was doing some stuff, reporting some NBA stuff, but I guess he really liked it and decided to go and mess with Shams Charania. So, but that's my barrier. NFL reports start tweeting about NBA. I don't need it.
No, I agree. I thought that was stupid. I saw everybody tweeting out about it. I'm like, really? That's what we're like.
Everybody thinks it's rigged. That's why.
I mean, LeBron. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Listen to what some people think is the GOAT, which I think he is. Starts with a J. Ends with ass. Listen to this. This is what LeBron said from his mouth.
Listen, man, during the ball drop, during the lottery drop, Cleveland got the #1 pick. I just don't think that was. What a coincidence!
Don't you think?
Oh my God! Let's keep LeBron home. You know what? Patrick Ewing to the Knicks. Derrick Rose to the Bulls. I understand the assignment, guys. I had to make sure that, I had to do my part. I didn't want to be a fuck up. I just didn't want to be a fuck up.
Oh,
he'd probably walk it back now. But by the way, somebody said it was one of the NFL. Oh, you just said this, right?
Yeah.
That somebody suggested that the NFL should be a lottery too.
No, don't. Yeah, it was
somebody. I think it was.
Oh God,
I think it was
it's
AB.
the NFL scout for ESPN. He just came over. Go ahead, I'll look for it.
I can't remember, but somebody said that, and I thought this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I'm like,
they should do the top 10 picks as a draft lottery. And like everybody's like, no, please don't do this.
Yeah, that's the dumbest thing. That's the dumbest thing I've heard. Gilbert, why don't you do yours?
I think mine's repetitive, but yeah, I'm tired of the schedule release. I think that's what it is. Maybe I'm the last guy to say give us a schedule in an email or in a cool magnet that you put on your fridge, because I'm gonna write the story, or the story comes out tomorrow about the schedule release. So maybe that's why I have more fatigue this year, but I'm over it. Let's play the damn game. I'm even tired right now. Sorry, I couldn't give you my best right now, guys. But yeah, NBA, wrestling, I can't even keep up. I'm ready for some damn football. I'm sure Dan would attest to that if it was here. But that's what you get in May, a freaking 8 days of schedule, and I am tired of it. That's my
Can you take this off real quick?
Yep.
I cannot disagree with you more. If this is the schedule release, I'm going to get to.
I haven't watched one NBA playoff game.
Oh, no.
It's 50 Buccaneers? Oh.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I love the Bucs. 50 seasons. This will be one to remember, man. Oh, yeah. Years? I got to see this.
Got me feeling nice.
So they're gonna have John Gruden in their schedule. Okay.
Oh, I'm all for it.
That's already the
cannot
winner,
wait.
right? If that's the case.
I cannot wait to see what they do. But
Well, tomorrow is
I
Dan's
like Philly.
Super
All right,
Bowl.
Philly. He says, whoever made the schedule was smoking crack. How the hell did the New York just get that schedule when they completed?
Philly MM's been waiting for
Yes.
talk about the schedule.
Shout out to you, Philly. We appreciate you in the comments. We just
being patient.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. That well, just real quick.
You know, have una más?
Yeah, real quick. Did you see Jaden Daniels' mom was on that show? With
Oh,
Ryan
yes.
Clark?
I saw this.
Oh, you know, it was Ryan Clark that wanted the lottery. He's the one that tweeted it out. Yeah, it was him. But
why have you been so?
You know what they were doing? Asking her.
Protecting Jaden from the wrong woman.
So first and foremost, I have a meme out there, and it's funny. So I can't laugh. I can only laugh about it. But the whole girls comment was made first of all 2 years when he was at LSU, and it was a question asked like, "What is your biggest fear?" And that should be every parent's biggest fear. That should be. If you're a star athlete and you're a female in WNBA, that should be your biggest fear is, the men or, the women, because you're a public figure and, your dollar amount is associated with your name. So you never know who really is there for you and who's really against you.
I'm all for her protecting her son. Actually,
I mean, we've seen this. If you ever saw the show The Game, this was pretty much what it was about.
Maybe if Dwight Howard's mom or Tyreek Hill's parents.
Dwight Howard's uncle. I just watched a documentary of shooting guards with Gilbert Arenas and.
Oh, really? Hey, was that good?
It was, but Dwight Howard's uncle was like a powerful attorney in Atlanta who helped out Crittenton get his sentence reduced.
Interesting.
By
the way,
he just got me thinking about it.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm all with her. Like I totally understand where, like, she's the agent. The only thing is you have to at least let him have some fun. You can protect him, but at the end of the day, he's gonna have to make mistakes. Like I understand with everything that's going on with NBA players and them, some of them getting groomed by these older women. I totally understand where she's coming from. But at the same time, you have to allow him to make those mistakes.
Just do what Jerry Jones used to do: lock them in a room with whatever they want, and don't let them leave. By the way, I wish Dan was here.
Yeah,
the Menendez brothers, according to multiple reports, Eric and Lyle Menendez will can be resentenced for their parents' murder, so they're eligible for parole. Friday,
Menendez twins.
Menendez.
That's crazy. All right, thank you guys so much. You guys are the best. We will be back next week, and we'll talk a little bit more about the schedule and schedules and what people think about them. Dan and I will be jumping on the live tomorrow at 4:45, so that right at 5 o'clock, you guys get Dan's reaction to the schedule releases videos. We have a special friend jumping on the show. We'll get some other people jumping on in and out to see Dan's reaction. This person texted me, and I quote, hold on, let me see what they put. They texted me.
I want to be part of this.
They put, whatever they do, I just hope it pisses off Daniel. So people really want to see what his reaction is. So we'll be jumping on the live at about 4:45. The schedule releases at 5, and then I'll put Dan through what he thinks the prediction's going to be. We'll give our way too early predictions. Again, thank you guys so much. We'll be back next week. Gilbert, why don't you get us out of here?
Yeah, I'm sure next week, Fernando, you're gonna make me do the win-loss for every game on the schedule, and it's gonna annoy people last year. Wisely.
I mean, if you want to do it beforehand and just jump on what's tomorrow,
we'll see. I'll say it for next Tuesday. We need the content. But yes, it's time to get going. Enjoy schedule, release day. Enjoy the leaks all day. Sources said the team is going to play in week 5. Shut the hell up. We don't need to hear your source about a game. Let's get out of here though, because I'm a little cranky. What did Canelo Alvarez say? And I'm a little tired, and it's time to get going. But ya nos vamos, pues, vámonos.